We're a state supervised, state administered child welfare agency. It's a very large organization, 6,000 plus employees within the Department of Human Services, a $4 billion budget. And so really making sure that as we have vacancies, we are trying to fill them in a timely manner, because within our work, every worker is really serving a child, a family. And so whenever there are multiple vacancies, you can think about the strain that that puts on children and families, but also the strain that it puts on the other staff that are still here doing the great work every day.
We came into the project having challenges with our overall vacancy rates. And the Quick WA team has been fantastic in terms of helping us navigate that. A really interesting piece of the project is getting the buy-in from some of our local departments of social services directors.
Having the directors at the table as thought partners to be very, very honest and transparent. They were vulnerable, sharing what some of the gaps may be and what are some of the challenges that they need to address to improve the hiring process and to ensure that they have the right candidate in some of the positions. That needs assessment. It really identified what are we doing at the local, what are we doing at central, and how can we come together as a team to be more collaborative and also be more efficient in the hiring process. That was eye-opening.
And what we've really learned through the assessment process is we need to actually refocus now on candidate quality, making sure that the pool is giving us those folks that are going to be able to be successful over the longer period.
One of our values is to be data-driven, heart-led. We started to have a deep dive on the data. We've actually seen that our vacancy rate has decreased, partly because we were doing some creative recruitment. We also had some salary adjustments. But now with this particular project, we're gonna be creating some data dashboards that are connected to our Workday system, which is how we manage job applications. And I think the more we start to get data from that system, we'll understand how we might be able to improve the vacancy rate even better if we're able to make quicker decisions, make decisions that are timely, but also align with the needs of the workforce, the needs of the community. And so we're excited to see where we'll be months from now based off of the work that we're doing with this Quick project.
One of the wins for us was coming into this project to identify other opportunities to improve our dashboard, to improve our data metrics. Right now, improving the yield, whether from the application process to an actual employee, starting at the agency for the first day, is something that we were trying to focus on.
And some of the things that we've uncovered with the needs assessment and in the weekly project meetings is how are we creating a sense of uniformity across all of our local 24 jurisdictions and with our state office to make sure that the hiring process is the same, but that it's efficient. Like putting ourselves in the seat of the individual that's applying for the job.
That upfront work of thinking through the problem so you know what the problem is and you can define the problem helps you be much more efficient, more effective, and more outcome driven. We've driven our vacancy rates down from about 18% coming out of COVID to we're now at about 7.5%. So you have to have that data. But then the other thing I think that's really important, really looking at how you define your organizational culture.
You can do all of the recruitment, do all of the salary adjustments, but if you don't have the right culture that people want to work in, the right environment, you're gonna lose them and then you're gonna be back in the same place of having to recruit. And so I think that culture piece is gonna be very big for us, that after we get through some of the technical challenges and the data visualization, the next step is the adaptive challenge of how do we keep the people now that we've recruited them.
At the end, the greatest benefit is that we get to support and enhance the experience of hiring and also meeting the needs of our greatest assets, which is our families and our children in care. So we can do that. It's a win-win for everyone.